Yep, we're live. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar session with Southeast Missouri State University. And we have a very special guest with us today. We have Dr. Kevin Timlin, who is the Executive Director of International Education and Services SEMO USA. আপনাদের যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থেকে থাকে regarding applications or classes or any information about SEMO সাউথ-ইস্ট মিজোরি স্টেট ইউনিভার্সিটি, আপনারা অবশ্যই আমাদের চ্যাট সেশনে একটা কমেন্ট দিয়ে দিবেন আর আমরা ট্রাই করব আপনাদের সব প্রশ্নগুলি অ্যান্সার দিয়ে দিতে। You have the opportunity to ask anything that you would like to know. তো অবশ্যই আপনারা এই অপরচুনিটিটা মিস করবেন না, and make sure that you post your comments straight away for us to help you out with all the information. So thank you so much, Dr. Kevin, for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. We also have our CEO of High International Education, Waki sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us.
And we have our two international counselors. We have Junaid sir.
Hi, everybody.
And we have Farzana miss.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, viewers, for joining in to watch this session. So, Mr. Kevin, I'd like to ask you first, can you give us a little bit about yourself and regarding SEMO?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, I'm the Executive Director of International Education and Services at Southeast. I have been in my position about 4 years. So I came here in the summer of 2016. Prior to coming to Southeast, I've worked in public universities in Michigan, in Illinois, and also in Oklahoma. And I also have degrees from institutions in Iowa, Oklahoma, and Minnesota. So my experience is mostly in public universities all throughout the middle part of the United States, from, in the north, Minnesota and Michigan, down through Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, and Oklahoma. So I've got a lot of experience with public universities in the U.S. and specifically the type of institution that Southeast is, and the kind of institution that I work with are called regional public universities. So it's not the biggest institution in each state. It's one of the ones that serves more of a smaller or regional population. And one of the reasons that I really like institutions like this is you are able to get a lot of personalized individual attention from professors. Classrooms are often smaller. The professors who teach at institutions like ours often have more of an interest in teaching as opposed to research being their primary interest. Our professors still do research. Our professors still do everything else that other professors at other institutions have to do. But the emphasis first and foremost is on teaching and connecting with students. And so what that means is you can get a very high quality, personalized individual education at a lower comparative cost than some of the bigger institutions. And so that's what a lot of my experiences has been. And that's what we sell with Southeast. It's a great opportunity for students to get opportunities to build a resume, to get great letters of recommendation, to really make connections and be somebody big on campus at a lower cost.
Thank you so much for all of that information. Students, আপনাদের জন্য যে ইনফরমেশনটা আপনারা পেতে চাচ্ছেন regarding applications to Southeast, make sure that you comment. আপনাদের যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে অবশ্যই আমরা চেষ্টা করব আপনাদের প্রশ্নগুলি অ্যানসার করে দিতে এই সেশনের মধ্যে. So please comment all of your questions and keep watching this live session for more information. Dr. Kevin, I do have another question for you. Which are the most popular programs that you have for international students, or which programs do students normally go for?
Well, we offer bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. So there's a couple of different levels of education. So in the U.S., after secondary school, or what we call high school, then you enter as an undergraduate student in a bachelor's degree program. And then after you complete your bachelor's degree, you're qualified to go on for a graduate program or a master's degree. So a lot of our popular academic programs for international students tend to be the ones that are STEM designated. So as a lot of you are probably aware, when you come to the US and you graduate as an international student, you're allowed to stay and work in the US on what's called OPT, or optional practical training. So anybody graduating gets 1 year of OPT. If you graduate from an academic program that's STEM designated, or science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, you qualify for an additional 2 years of OPT. So when you graduate from a STEM designated program, that means at each level you've got up to 3 years of living and working in the US still on your student visa. So with international students, a lot of our popular programs are those that are STEM designated. So on the undergraduate side, we do a lot of things in the biomedical, biotechnology, different programs in biology. We've got computer science, we've got information systems, we've got cybersecurity. For anybody interested in what I tell people, cybersecurity programs are very, 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 very popular and very much in demand once you graduate. I'm happy to say that our cybersecurity program is one of only 4 in the entire United States that's ABET accredited. That's a new accreditation through ABET. So it really verifies that we have a cutting edge program, and one that is really on the front edge, leading edge of cybersecurity. So those programs right now have a 100% placement rate for our graduates. We've just created a cybersecurity institute. We do all kinds of competitions. Faculty members do research grants and things like that. So cybersecurity is a really hot area, and we've got a great program in it. As I mentioned, computer science. We do a lot of different things that are STEM designated. On the not STEM side, one of the things we're really good at on the undergraduate side is our Holland College of Arts and Media. So we do a lot of things in mass communication, journalism, but also we have a conservatory of music, theater, and dance. So it's incredibly rare for a regional public institution like ours to have such a high quality conservatory of music, theater, and dance. It's, normally for a person to get this level of training in a program like that, they would have to go to a bigger city, they would have to go to a bigger institution. Tuition would be 3-4 times more than we charge at our institution. And the other selling point of our program is every single course you would take in our arts program has an emphasis on careers. So not a lot of people, I think when students tell their parents, I want to go and study theater, or I want to go and study dance, the parents think, well, I'm not going to pay for that because you're not going to become a professional singer. You're not going to become a professional actor. The chances of that are very rare. It's a wasted education. But that is absolutely not the case. Not a lot of people understand how big of an industry arts is, whether it's TV, media, all these different performances and things like that. There are a lot of jobs. There's a lot of career opportunities in every area of the arts. And our program talks about career opportunities in arts in every single one of the courses. So a person has the ability to pursue their interest in the arts at a much, much lower cost at a conservatory that's one of the top ones in the state of Missouri, if not all of the Midwest, and be prepared for all the different career opportunities in the arts. So that's a really big program for us on the undergraduate side, in addition to all the different STEM designated ones. The master's degree, MBA is one of our big ones, applied computer science, cybersecurity, exercise nutrition science, Master of Public Administration. Those are the main ones that our international students do. And again, applied computer science, cybersecurity, those are all STEM designated.
Thank you so much for giving us that information. We have a question from our student, Aisha Islam, who's asking, what's the graduate program related to agriculture for international students? So is there an opportunity for studying agriculture?
No, our agriculture programs end at the bachelor's degree level, unfortunately. We do have a lot of, the middle part of the U.S. is very good in terms of agriculture. There's a lot of arable land. There's a lot of different things that people are involved in. But unfortunately, all of our or agriculture programs are at the undergraduate level. We don't have master's degrees in agriculture.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us that information. I'd like to actually ask Waki sir. Waki sir, can you give us some information? Dr. Kevin had given us information about the OPT program, right? Or the STEM programs and the opportunities they have by doing STEM programs. What does that mean for Bangladeshi students? আমাদের জন্য আমাদের যে বাংলাদেশি স্টুডেন্টদের জন্য এটা কতটুকু ইম্পর্টেন্ট অথবা এটা নিয়ে তারা কিভাবে তাদের হায়ার এডুকেশনটাকে প্ল্যান করে নিতে পারবে?
Was that question for me?
That was for
okay, STEM program is basically okay. So as Kevin told, that STEM program is basically you have to understand science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? So these are the programs you have to choose if you want to apply for STEM program, right, Kevin? So if you apply for STEM programs, basically this falls into masters, not into bachelors. So you study for masters for 1 year, and if you fall into STEM program, so you can actually stay there for more 2 years, get a job, and work there legally. So even if after you complete your graduation, and if it's a STEM program, so you can get an OPT, and you can study and work together. So the average salary, if you go in US after you graduate, like for Southeast Missouri, the tuition fee is around $10,000 to $11,000 for masters, right? So you're spending around $10,000 to $11,000, and the next year you can earn around like $55,000 per year. So you can stay there for 2 years, right? So you're spending $10,000 and you're earning more than $80,000 to $90,000 after like 2 years, right? So if you choose STEM program, you have the opportunity actually to work once you graduate. So there are a lot of students who have questions like whether like the students who wants to go to Canada or other countries because they want to settle there, they want to get a PR. So in USA, it's not possible, but it is possible if you work there, right? And if you are fall into STEM program, and if you can show the company that you are capable of working there, they can apply for your EH1 visa. So if you once get a H1 visa, you can get a study permit, a work permit, and you can stay there more 4 or 5 years, depending on your program or depending on your job, right? So you have to see that how much you are spending. Spending around $10,000 to $11,000, and in return you're getting $55,000 to $85,000 in 2 years, and no one is going to throw you out unless you are done with the program. So you can actually legally stay there for 3 years. 1 year you will complete your study, and the next 2 years you can earn and work, right? So I will think for masters, this is one of the biggest investment. And there are a lot of programs which falls into STEM program, though don't require GRE and GMAT. So if you have a good IELTS score, which is 7, you can apply and join those, work and study and earn both together.
Thank you so much, Waki sir, for helping us out.
So I would like to ask to add some more points on it.
Can I just clarify something real quick? Mr. Waki, your points are right on, but I do want to clarify that most of our master's programs are at least 1.5 years to 2 years. So that $10,000 to $11,000 in tuition would be for 1 year of the program. If your program requires you to be in residence and take courses for 2 years, then you're looking at about $20,000 for the whole program. At this point, none of our master's programs you can complete in 1 year. It's going to take at least three terms or so in order to do that. But your other points are valid, that you are eligible for OPT at the end of every academic level. So even if you're an undergraduate student, our bachelor's degree programs are 4 years. So you complete your bachelor's degree in 4 years. If it's a STEM program, then you've got your 4 years of your program, and then you've got 3 years of OPT that are eligible to you. As Mr. Waki said, that you have the opportunity to get a work permit from your employer, an H-1B visa. If you aren't able to get a work permit or stay on after that, then you can go back and complete your master's degree, which is 1.5 to 2 year program, and then you're qualified for another 3 years of OPT. So then you're looking at a total of about 11 or 12 years. And I would also point out, Mr. Walkie, you said that, right now it's difficult to get an H-1B visa. The current presidential administration has done a lot to kind of curtail the number of work visas. And most of the people in the United States feel that has been really cut back way, way, way too far. There have been some very important changes in the H-1B process that I think eventually are, in the long run, are going to help international students. I think they've cut back on the number of companies that were kind of predators in terms of like sucking up all of the different H-1B applications. And now it's more possible for employers from across the country in a range of different areas to get H-1Bs. But do not underestimate what might happen in the upcoming election in November. With a change in the administration, there seems to be the possibility of increased visa, increased H-1Bs in the upcoming years. So as of right now, this year, yes, work visas are a little bit more difficult to come by. But in 1 year, 2 years, especially if you're talking about a 2-year academic program and then 3 years of OPT, what that system looks like in 5 years is going to be very, very different, hopefully, than it looks right now.
I agree with you. So I was just thinking about like the investment purpose. Like suppose someone applied for a master's, and their investment is around like $10,000 to $15,000, right? So in return, if they fall into OPT, right, they can actually work there. They don't need to apply for a work visa, right? So that's part of the curriculum. So they can stay there and work there and earn the money they have invested on master's program. So the later part is like whether they get a job or not. That's a later issue. But I'm talking about of investment on return of their study.
Right.
Thank you so much for that clarification. Yes, Mr. Waki, sir?
No, it's okay. Please go on.
So there's a question we have from one of our from one of the viewers, Asad Iqbal. He's asking about the scholarship opportunities for international students. Dr. Kevin, could you help us understand what are the opportunities for scholarships?
Sure. So we have, Mr. Walkie referred to our annual tuition estimated for an undergraduate is about $12,800 per year. For a graduate program, a master's level, it's about $10,000, $10,500 per year. On the undergraduate side, we have 3 different levels of merit-based scholarships. One is an $8,000 scholarship. So if you qualify for the $8,000 scholarship, then you're looking at a total tuition cost of 1 year around $5,000 to $6,000. We have a $6,000 scholarship, which is the equivalent of in-state tuition. So if you're looking at the in-state tuition, you're looking at a total cost of about $7,000 or $8,000. Like, math in my head is kind of not good right now, but it's around $7,000 or $8,000. And then anybody with at least a 2.5 GPA qualifies for a $2,000 scholarship. And when I say qualify, these are merit-based scholarships. If you have the marks from your secondary school and you have the required test score, you automatically get these scholarships. There's no additional application. There's no additional screening. If you have the marks, you're going to get those scholarships. Now, those scholarships are renewable for the entire 4 years of your program. You have to maintain a certain GPA and you have to enroll full-time in courses, but those scholarships are yours for 4 years. On the graduate side, we offer everybody with at least a 2.5 GPA a $2,000 international student scholarship. 2.5, if you have a lower than 2.5 GPA, you're probably not going to be admitted into a graduate program. So basically every single one of our international students is getting the $2,000 scholarship for graduate level. So that puts your annual tuition at only $8,000 per year. In addition to that, we have graduate assistantships that are available. I'd say maybe about 25% of our international graduate students have assistantships. That comes with a monthly stipend and a tuition waiver. If you're lucky enough to have an assistantship, you are not paying tuition at all, but you're working for the department and you're doing some work in exchange for that. In addition, I mentioned all the different universities that I've worked at and studied at. One of the things that I think Southeast does better than any other place that I've been is help international students get on-campus employment opportunities. The president of our university came to the U.S. as an international student himself. He's really allowed us to do things that he knows international students need in order to be supported and to be successful. And one of those things is creating student work opportunities in all areas of the campus. So we've got international students working in the president's office, the police department, the rec center, the library, the provost's office, international office, you name it. And so while student employment is not going to pay all of your bills, they're maybe $8-9 per hour jobs, but you can work up to 20 hours per week to earn a little bit of extra cash to pay for expenses. But they're also very important in terms of learning the culture, getting experience, learning about U.S. organizations. And again, like when you graduate, you're going to be applying for jobs that everybody else has the same bachelor's degree or master's degree that you have. That's, a bachelor's degree a lot of times, or the master's degree is the qualification that everybody must have for a job. You have to have things on your resume that set you apart, that demonstrate to somebody that you're going to be a good employer. If you have 2 or 3 years of working in an organization on campus, you get a good letter of recommendation from that person. You can show that you have concrete experiences. That really helps you get those next level jobs and things like that. And so I think our international student worker employment opportunities are exceptional at the university. And a lot of times what happens is you might not get your dream job in your first year or first semester, but you start off somewhere and you work your way up. You get to know more people on campus. You get good letters of recommendation, and the great students get to do exactly what it is that they want to do. So those are some of the opportunities that we have in terms of scholarships and financial support.
Thank you so much.
So I just want to add, like for SEMO for undergrad, they have scholarship till $8,000, right? So their tuition fee is $12,800. So if you have a GPA like SSC 5 and HSC 5, so you'll be eligible for $8,000. And you have additional requirement, which is IELTS. So you need a score of 6.5 to 7, or you might have a SAT score of 1,000 plus, right? So if you have, I'm sorry?
For that top scholarship, 1280 on the SAT.
1280, right? 1280 and IELTS 6.5, right?
Just one of so you qualify for the scholarships in 2 ways. One, you have to have the marks, and 2, you have to have one of those test scores. Not all of them. Just it depends on which one you took.
Yeah,
either IELTS or SAT. Yes.
So you can get a scholarship of up to $8,000, and then you have to pay just $5,000 per year, which is very reasonable. So we are working with SEMO. It's more than like from 2005, and to be very honest, we'll be very happy in working with SEMO because we have sent students and we have seen the students who are enrolled for undergrad, they graduate, and now they're part of master's students and they're working there. So which really give us which makes us feel that yes, we are doing something for Bangladeshi students, because in United States you will not find a university where you can actually study and work and then you can apply for masters and get a job. So we are working with SEMO almost like 10 years from now on, or maybe 8 to 10 years, and we have seen students, they are very happy. And what they have to do is they have to study for bachelor's there, and for masters they don't have to take fees from the parents. They can actually work and pay their fee and start their career over there.
ওয়াকি স্যার, আমি জাস্ট একটু আমাদের ভিউয়ারদের জন্য একটু ক্ল্যারিফাই, জাস্ট একটু রিপিট করছি বাংলাতে, যে আপনি বলছেন যে যেই স্টুডেন্টরা পায়ের থ্রুয়ে সেমোতে গিয়েছেন ইন দ্য পাস্ট, সেই স্টুডেন্টরা হচ্ছে যদি তাদের IELTS এর স্কোরটা একটু ভালো থেকে থাকে, হয়তোবা তাদের IELTS এ মিনিমাম 6.5 স্কোর থেকে থাকে, অথবা তারা যদি স্যাট দেওয়ার চিন্তা করছে, স্যাটে যদি মিনিমাম 1280, রাইট, 1280 প্লাস যদি স্কোর থেকে থাকে, তাহলে তাদের স্কলারশিপের জন্য তারা অ্যাপ্লিকেবল আছেন। আর তারা হচ্ছে আমাদের থ্রুয়ে যারা গিয়েছেন, তারা হচ্ছে আন্ডার গ্রাজুয়েট লেভেলটা শেষ করার পরে তারা মাস্টার্সে অ্যাপ্লাই করেছেন, তারা মাস্টার্স শেষ করার সাথে সাথে তারা হচ্ছে জবও করছেন আর কি ইন দ্য US। সো আমরা এটা আমাদের ভিউয়ারদেরকে বলতে চাচ্ছি, কারণ সেমোতে যে অপরচুনিটিস গুলো দেওয়া থাকে ইন টার্মস অফ জব প্লেসমেন্টস, অথবা কোনো অকুপেশনে ঢোকার জন্য, সেটা হচ্ছে অনেকটুকুই হচ্ছে ইউনিভার্সিটি সেমো অনেকটুকুই হেল্প করে তাদের ইন্টারন্যাশনাল স্টুডেন্টসদেরকে। তো অবশ্যই এই অপরচুনিটিটা মিস করা উচিত না। আর আপনাদের যদি আরো ইনফরমেশন জানা লাগে তাহলে অবশ্যই আপনারা আমাদেরকে প্রশ্ন করতে পারেন, and you can directly call our counselors as well, যেহেতু আমরা হচ্ছে পাই ইন্টারন্যাশনাল এডুকেশনে আমরা কোনো সার্ভিস চার্জ করছি না আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদের থেকে। And I would also like to ask Farzana Miss actually, Miss, can you tell us a little bit about the deadlines with respect to our Bangladeshi students? আমাদের বাংলাদেশের
Alright.
স্টুডেন্টরা যখন অ্যাপ্লাই করবে সেমোর জন্য আন্ডারগ্রাজুয়েট লেভেলে, তারা কোন সময়তে পায়ে আসলে তারা অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা শুরু করতে পারবে, আর কিভাবে তারা শুরু করবে প্রসেসটা?
আচ্ছা, তো প্রসেস করার জন্য এখন এই মুহূর্তে যেটা আমাদের সেমোতে অ্যাপ্লিকেশন প্রসেস ইজ মাচ মোর ইজিয়ার। তো সেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের যেটা হয়, একাডেমিক পেপারস গুলো যারা বাংলা মিডিয়ামের স্টুডেন্ট, এসএসসি এইচএসসি আপনাদের সার্টিফিকেট আর মার্কশিট, এই দুটো জিনিসের স্ক্যান করা কপি আর পাসপোর্টের ইনফরমেশন পেজে স্ক্যান করা কপি, এই জিনিসগুলো আমাদের কাছে প্রোভাইড করলে দেয়ার ইজ এ ভেরি মিনিমাম অ্যামাউন্ট অফ অ্যাপ্লিকেশন ফি, $40। এটা পে করার পরে আলটিমেটলি আমরা কিন্তু অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করতে পারি। এখানে লিটল বিট অফ এখানে ব্যাংক সার্টিফিকেটেরও একটা ইস্যু থাকে, বাট খুবই একদমই সামান্য একটা ব্যাংক সার্টিফিকেট তো আমাদেরকে শো করতে হয়। এটা শো করার পরে আলটিমেটলি দে উইল অফার আস দিস I-20 এন্ড এভরিথিং। বাট ইনিশিয়ালি আপনি কতটুকু এলিজিবল আছেন, মানে আপনি স্কলারশিপ পাবেন কিনা বা কি পরিমাণ স্কলারশিপ আপনি পেতে যাচ্ছেন, সেটার জন্য আমরা সাজেস্ট করবো ইমিডিয়েটলি ইফ পসিবল আপনারা কাইন্ডলি আপনাদের একাডেমিক পেপারস গুলো আমাদের কাছে সেন্ড করে দেন। তারপরে আমরা এসএস করে আপনাকে বলতে পারছি যে আপনার এক্স্যাক্টলি আপনি কত পরিমাণ স্কলারশিপ পাবেন। আর ডেডলাইনটা হচ্ছে মিস, যারা কিনা এই ফল সেশনের জন্য অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করবে তাদের ডেডলাইন হচ্ছে জুনের 1 তারিখ। আর যারা কিনা সামনে স্প্রিং সেশন যেটা কিনা জানুয়ারিতে শুরু হয়, ওটার জন্য ডেডলাইন হচ্ছে নভেম্বরের 1 তারিখ। ইন বিটুইন এর আগে আর কি আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদেরকে অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করতে হয়।
মিস, আপনি মেনশন করেছিলেন যে আমাদের স্টুডেন্টরা যারা অ্যাপ্লাই করতে চিন্তা করছে তারা তাদের ডকুমেন্টস পাঠাবে, তারা কোথায় পাঠাতে পারবে পাইকে?
এইটা আমাদের ইমেল অ্যাড্রেস রয়েছে আমাদের প্রত্যেকটা সেশনের সাথে সাথে আমাদের info@pibd.com এই ইমেল অ্যাড্রেস রয়েছে। এখানে আমাদের এই ইমেল অ্যাড্রেসে ওরা অবশ্যই পাঠিয়ে দিতে পারে। তো যে কোনো, আমি এর আগের দিনও বলেছিলাম যে আপনাদের যদি ক্যামেরা দিয়ে একটা ছবি তুলে যদি আপনি আমাদেরকে পাঠিয়ে দেন, স্টিল উইল বি এবল টু অ্যাসেস ইউর পেপারস, বিকজ আমরা জানি যে আলটিমেটলি কি পরিমাণ স্কলারশিপ আপনি পাবেন। দিস এ ম্যাটার অফ সার্টেনিটি, যে আপনি জানছেন যে হ্যাঁ আমার এই স্কোর অনুযায়ী এই পরিমাণ স্কলারশিপ আমি পেতে পারছি। তো সেই অনুযায়ী আসলে আপনার নেক্সট স্টেপটা নিতে হবে, বিকজ আপনি এখনো জানেন না আপনি কি পরিমাণ স্কলারশিপ পাবেন। দেয়ার ইজ লট অফ ম্যাটার্স লাইক ফ্যামিলি আপনার বোঝাতে হবে, যেমন ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল একটা বাজেট আছে, এটা আপনার প্যারেন্টসের সাথে ডিসকাশন করা। তো আন্ডারগ্রেড স্টুডেন্টের জন্য এই জিনিসগুলো অনেক বেশি হয়। তো আমরা সাজেস্ট করবো যে কাইন্ডলি একাডেমিক পেপারস গুলো আমাদের কাছে যদি পাঠিয়ে দিতে পারেন, আমরা আপনাদেরকে ক্লিয়ারলি বলতে পারি যে এক্স্যাক্টলি কি পরিমাণ স্কলারশিপ আপনি পাচ্ছেন বা আপনার বাজেটটা কি।
Thank you so much, Farzana Miss, for that information. Dr. Kevin, I would like to just ask you one small detail about the application process. Right now, our applicants, they need to send their bank certificates, right? But because of the situation with the lockdown, a lot of students are being unable to do that, and their applications are on hold because of this. What are the opportunities, or what can you do about this situation?
Well, unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do at this point in time. So one of the regulations by the Department of Homeland Security is that since international students are not eligible for U.S. financial aid, and since they're not eligible to work off campus, I mentioned on-campus employment earlier, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours per week on campus, but it's really hard for you to survive in the U.S. unless you have the funding beforehand from your family or from your country to pay for your education. If you don't have the money, you're not even going to be able to complete the first semester, and you're out of status, and that's it. So we do need some kind of proof that you're going to be able to fund yourself. Now, what I would say is that eventually we'll get to the other end of the COVID-19 situation, and the banks will start opening back up, and it's going to be easier to get those documents. We do not need to see, we can't send the I-20 to you until we have that proof of finances. We do have the ability to move on to make sure that you're admitted on the financial affidavit, one of the forms that's required for the application. There's a checkmark box on there that says, please admit me without financial consideration. And you know, I can send that information in later. So it's possible to get an admit letter from us, but you can't get the I-20 until we have that proof of finances, unfortunately. until people are able to get those letters from the banks, I'm afraid there's not much we're going to be able to do. Now, one of the things that we are starting is that if you are admitted, you can begin your program as an online only student. And since you're not getting a visa to start online, we don't need the proof of finances. So you can start your program online. You can begin earning credits towards your Southeast degree. You can pay a lower tuition rate. The web only rate is lower than the in-residence program. And then once you're able to get the bank statements, once you're able to, things are opening back up again, then you can submit that information to us. We'll get you the I-20 and you can come to Southeast for the next term. And I think there's 3 different benefits to starting online first. One would be, again, you're able to start earning credits towards your Southeast degree. You're still able to come. In order to qualify for OPT, you need to be in residence for at least 1 academic year. So if you're a master's level student, if you did 1 year online, came to Southeast for your second year or 2 semesters, the fall and the spring semester, you're still qualified for OPT. The second benefit is the online rate is lower than the in-residence rate, even with the scholarship at the graduate level. So you can get 1 year of coursework, you can get a certain amount of coursework knocked out online, and then by the time you come to the US, you've got to pay even less for your total degree in the US. And the third one, I don't have proof of this. This is something that anecdotally I've heard that it's my impression, and Ms. Frazana and others may have an opinion on this, but I think it increases your odds of being successful in your visa interview. If you've demonstrated to that visa officer that you're truly connected with Southeast, you're invested in this program, you've already earned credits, and the amount that you're going to have to pay for in the US is less than an entire 2-year or 4-year program, I think that demonstrates to the visa officer that you're a serious student and you have a better opportunity to be successful in your visa application. So there's some definite benefits to that. So now, in order to continue, you are going to need to pay for that online course that you're taking or program that you're taking. When you're a student in the US, the visa regulations stipulate that you must be enrolled full-time. As a graduate student, that's 9 hours. As an undergraduate, that's at least 12 hours. If you're a web-only student, there's no full-time requirement. There's some benefits to enrolling full-time. Again, you're getting a lot of courses out of the way. You're earning your degree or earning credits towards your degree. But if you can only pay for 1 course or 2 courses, then you can pay that much, still earn your degree, figure out a little bit about how the university works, and start down that road. So those are a couple of different ways that we can work with people until the banks are able to verify funds.
So that's really nice. So I have a question in between that. So the thing is suppose students start studying online, right? And how long they can study? Is it possible to complete the whole course here? Suppose if after 1 year, if you apply for the visa and he is refused for the visa, right? And he got refused. So is it possible for a student to complete the whole 3 years from Bangladesh?
Yes. So that's part of it is we don't want to take advantage of students that if they can't get those visas. Any of these programs that are listed, and we've put them on our website, there's a lot of different programs that we offer that are web only. They can be completed completely online. Now, the downside of that is there's no OPT for someone who graduates with a web only program. But the degree is still valid. We're still an accredited institution. What we do and that brings up another very, very important point is online courses are academically rigorous. It takes a lot of thought and effort, just in the same way that it would be in a face-to-face course. And these are things that go on your permanent academic record. So do not sign up for web-only courses unless you're sure that you have access to the technology and you'll be able to complete those programs. So signing up for a web-only program, and if you fail because you didn't have access to technology, that F still goes on your record. You're still going to have to be responsible for what you're signing up for. So if you feel like you don't have access to technology or, computers and websites and, watching videos and participating in online chats and submitting papers, it will be very difficult for you to succeed online.
So that's a great news for Bangladeshi students, right? So if they want, even if they don't get the visa, if they don't want to go there and complete, they can actually sit here in Bangladesh and get a US degree, right? So it goes with for undergrad and masters both, right? And with a very minimum cost.
Definitely, because they will be saving up on the living and accommodation costs as well. They're
Yeah.
saving a lot in that area as well.
And I agree with points like suppose you did like 1 year or one semester and you stand for the visa and the visa officer think that you are serious with your studies and you want to choose SEMO, the chances of getting visa will be higher. Okay,
Definitely
so
makes sense.
thank you, Kevin. It was a very important information that we get to know, and we have a couple of students who want to apply to SEMO, but there were some issues with the bank lockdown and everything. So we'll actually can ask them to submit the application. They can get an offer letter. So once they're ready, they can pick up the statements and apply for the I-20s, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's
So
excellent.
this online thing will be like, is there any deadline for this online application or it will go on, right?
It will go on.
It will go
Because we don't need to send an I-20, because we don't need
Right.
to get a visa interview.
Right. And
Technically, our deadline is July 1st for
Okay.
the August start, but it's a soft deadline. If a student wanted to be online only, we could accept applications after that.
right. And the things like if the students wants to after completing the graduation, if the students want to join the convocation in SEMO, they can go and just join the convocation, right?
Right.
Excellent. Okay, that's a great news. Something
I
really
have
for online students.
Absolutely. Junaid sir, I have a question for you. As we've already discussed, and Dr. Kevin has mentioned, Waki sir has mentioned that IELTS scores are very important for students when they're applying to SEMO. Junaid sir, can you tell us what is PI doing for students who want to apply to SEMO and they want to complete their IELTS?
So it is a global lockdown, and all of us are at home, but time runs out and deadlines have to be met. So for future IELTS students that need their standardized IELTS test, PI has online course, and you can do this online course and dedicate your time to get the score that you require. PI has expert teachers, expert trainers working day and night to build up a curriculum which we have ready, and the classes are ongoing. So if any one of you need to do the IELTS, give the IELTS in near future, you can join our course. And not only IELTS, we have courses for GED and SAT as well going on online. So our course coordinate numbers are on our website. They can contact our course coordinator to know more about our courses.
So there is ongoing admissions for the online courses.
Definitely, definitely.
And I
What
just want
about
to add one more thing, like for SEMO, for the application, the whole process, if a student wants to apply, we don't charge anything. It's completely free service right from admission till visa. So anyone who's willing to apply to SEMO, they're most welcome.
And I would just like to point out too, along those lines, that as you mentioned, Southeast has been working with PI for a long time. I just want to verify that they are trusted partners of ours in Bangladesh. We know that when we receive a student from PI, that they're qualified, that their documents are legitimate. So we are very, very happy with our service and our partnership with PI, and students should feel comfortable working with PI.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kevin. Dr. Kevin, I'd just like you to tell us one last thing. Is there any update that you'd like to share with our viewers in Bangladesh regarding the COVID situation, and anything you'd like to tell them to kind of help them feel calmer about applying and moving ahead with their dreams of going to SEMO?
Well, in terms of an update, as of right now, we're still planning to have a regular start in the fall semester in August. So all of our planning moving forward is we're going to be back face to face in the fall. If any of that changes, we'll certainly let people know. But again, like, I do feel confident in knowing that, just because we're not meeting face to face, everything else is still proceeding and going on. We have options for people to start their programs if they want to. We have options for people, if they're admitted, to defer their application to the point where they feel more comfortable coming to campus. So I think one of the really neat things that's come out of this whole global lockdown is the way that people and organizations are cooperating with each other. You're finding people who are incredibly flexible about what they can and can't do, whereas before you'd hear a lot of, no, I can't do that, no, I can't do this. Now all of a sudden people are like, you know what, let me think about this and we can do it this way. So I'm really confident that on the other side of this, we're going to have like a even more efficient and better process. And just kind of keep on, we'll get through this. And know that people are still working and still taking care of students, and it's still possible to pursue your dreams throughout all of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Kevin, for joining us for this webinar. Yes, Mr. Junaid?
Dr. Kevin, I had just one last question. Yesterday, I came across this English language proficiency test that people can actually give from their homes. It's called Duolingo English Test. And I was checking online, and I saw that Southeast Missouri is one of the listed institutions that accept scores. So right now in this lockdown, people who do not have their standardized English proficiency test, can they give the Duolingo test of English and get accepted at SEMO?
Yes, absolutely. The Duolingo test has some benefits. You can take it on demand. You don't have to schedule anything in advance. As long as you have secure internet access, a device with a camera and a microphone, you're able to take the Duolingo test, and we accept the results. Now, I also understand that IELTS is doing the IELTS indicator, that there's a take-from-home IELTS test. We accept the results of that. TOEFL is doing an at-home edition. ETS is also offering the GMAT and the GRE from your own home. So as all of these different companies, again, this is one of those things that I've talked about, that before they're like, no, there's no way we can offer at-home programs. There's no way that we can do this. Now, all of a sudden, people are figuring out, you know what, we have the technology to do these things securely. So Duolingo, IELTS indicator, TOEFL at-home edition, and the GRE and GMAT home editions, we all accept the results of.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kevin, for joining us. Thank you for all of your time and all the information that you've given. It's really helped, everybody who is watching today understand a lot better about the applications to SEMO. And thank you so much, PI team, for joining us as well. And for those students who have asked questions, make sure that you continue to post and continue to get in touch with our counselors. Their hotline number ta dawa ache amader poste, or you can also email us at info@pibd.com. Make sure that you keep watching our Facebook channel for more updates and more webinars. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you later.
And thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.